Hello everyone, and welcome to The Shadows That Run Alongside Our Car. I'm Two-Faced Teller, or V if you will. This game was made over the course of 4 days during 2016. It has 2 character routes and 6 endings, and there are some things within the content warnings. So be aware of that. If it's especially something to be concerned over, I'll make another warning. Whose eyes will you see the road through? Let's go lady first. Gun it. I lay back against the passenger seat. It's weird sitting on this side of the car. But my stomach's been feeling off for a while and I just can't drive. And so I've handed my keys over to this stranger. What's the worst that could happen, right? I stare out the window, watching the unchanging scenery whiz by. There's an awkward silence, but I don't feel like filling it. It's so stuffy in this car. I thought those were spider webs at first, but I'm pretty sure that is cracked window glass. I reach for the window control button and let the window roll open. You sure that's a good idea? It's not like zombies are just going to hurl themselves at a moving car. Well, who knows? Maybe they would. Fair enough. The slight breeze feels good against my neck. But this guy looks like he wants to say something. So, guess this is kinda strange to be asking after 3 whole days. But what's your name anyway? Right, we never did introduce ourselves. It's... What's your name? It's V. V. Well, it's nice to officially meet you then, V. Name's... You can remain Dustin. Dustin. Okay. He looks dissatisfied. How was he expecting me to react? It's not like I really care, but somehow he doesn't look very much like a Dustin. I continue staring out the window. The sky is so red. Normally I'd think it was pretty, but now it's just depressing me. Bad things come out after dark. I remember that all too well. I'd rather not think about that, so I decided to break the silence after all. So, what were you doing before everything happened? Oh. He looks surprised. I guess I haven't been talking much since we met. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. You know, this and that. I've never really settled into one thing in particular. What does that mean? That was weird. Whatever. Do I only have 3 slots? Oh no. I don't really like either of these options, honestly. I'll just say whatever. It feels like the lesser of the 2 evils. Whatever. It's not like I actually care. I just wanted to pass the time. What about you? This ride is yours, right? Yeah, well, it's really my dad's car, or was. Even when he was alive, though, I was the only one who ever drove it. After Dad got that 3rd DUI, his license was revoked. He used that as an excuse to never leave the house. It was just as well anyway. Sometimes he'd leave the car somewhere and forget where. Guess he didn't. Sorry, never mind. I'm feeling surprisingly calm about this. It's like I'm on the outside looking in. Wow. I'm sorry. My voice just cracked. I'm feeling surprisingly calm about this. It's like I'm on the outside looking in. I wonder if I'm really that callous. Maybe the apocalypse is just giving me more perspective. It's okay. The booze would have killed him eventually anyway. Ugh, big bummer. Pretty quiet in here, huh? Yeah, take a hint already. Surprisingly, not much noise at the end of the world. Still, do you think there's any radio stations left? I'd be pretty shocked if so. I reckon it couldn't hurt to look, though. I reached towards the console and turned the radio dial in one direction. There's nothing but static, sometimes metallic screeching. Great. Hang on a sec, go back down. What did he hear exactly? There couldn't really be something there, could there? I slowly rotate the knob back the other way. Wait. There it is, I think. Is that mariachi? Oh my god. Oh my god, I cannot believe. Out of all the music that could be playing, this is what we get. What am I thinking? Of course it is. Of course we're on a highway to hell in the dark and mariachi is the only music available to us. The combination of Spanish vocals and horns on the track are completely ridiculous right now. I'm actually dying. The dulcet tones of this fabulous man are actually killing me. That was not what I was expecting. Who the hell's out there running this? Of all the music that would be left. Man. It takes me a minute to settle down, but then... Wait, isn't this the same song again? Ugh, it's probably on an endless loop because why wouldn't it be? Typical. Sure seems that way. Guess it's just ghosts on the waves after all. And the undead aren't exactly interested in DJing. What'd you think a zombie'd even listen to? Is death metal too obvious of an answer? Rob Zombie, or maybe they're all into baby metal these days. I don't know, I think the Grateful Dead seems more apt. You know, I've always wondered this, but what are they grateful for exactly? Maybe they finally found themselves some peace. Peace, huh? I wish they thought the rest of us have some. Ain't so bad right now, anyway. Well, except for that. He gestures towards the console. 101.7 is now the Infinite Loop Mariachi station. Radio station. So what are you into anyway? Music-wise, I really like Alanis Morissette. Top 40 hits, that sort of thing. Not like I had a lot of free time to explore my musical taste or anything. You? And don't tell me it's baby metal. Will you judge me if I say I actually haven't heard of them? No, that might be for the best. He doesn't have to know that I unironically like baby metal. What do you listen to then? Most people look at me and expect me to be into the Stones or Marley or something, but... Well, you'll probably actually judge me more for this. Try me. Abba. Oh my god, I can't keep a straight face. I lose it. Everything is too much. He looks kind of sullen. I'm sorry, Dustin, but not that sorry. Told you. No, it's fine. Their music's catchy. I managed to get these words out. All the slapping's making my stomach hurt more, damn it. I mean, my parents listen to Abba, but it's fine. Your parents? Yeesh. How old are you anyway? You seem a bit young for Alanis. I hope that's what it is. I'm sorry, I'm not good with actual music, like the names of music creators. I just listen to whatever. How old do you think I am? I'm pretty sure there is no right answer to that question. Except for that one. I'm 22. What kind of reaction is that? He doesn't believe you. No, whoa, you look so young or anything like that. I wonder how old Dustin is anyway. This music's kinda similar to Abba, isn't it? All peppy and stuff. You should be happy to have it. That's sure an optimistic take on it. Alright, enough of you. He purposely reaches over and shuts off the radio. Thank you, because, like, it was real loud to me. He's got a surprisingly immature side to him, too. I mean, if you're gonna listen to that on repeat, I don't think so. For who knows how long. Did you ever expect things to end up this way? What? Where did that come from all of a sudden? Pause. Why do you have to ruin the mood like that? It's getting dark, huh? The sun sets so late in the summer. I'm a bit surprised we still have any light at all at this hour. Especially without the streetlights and all. It's like the sky's just saving it up. Looks a bit like a dying fire. That sounds kinda morbid, but kinda fitting for the end of the world. It's silent again for a little while, but it doesn't last. So you never really told me what it is that you do. I mean, it doesn't have to be a job or anything, but well, What do you like to do? Or what did you do before everything? Like to do, huh? I turn my eyes to the window as I think on my life. Actually, I worked a lot. I didn't really have time for much other than that. I would wake up, shower, go to work, have a lunch break, back to work, get off work, eat dinner, and watch TV for a few minutes before passing out. And then the whole thing would start all over again in the morning. That was about it. And after leading such a boring life, I ended up here. I'm probably not even gonna go out with a bang. My death's going to be just as dull as my life. I guess that'd be most people's story. It's tough out there. Was tough, probably tougher now. Huh. All kind of pointless in the end, isn't it? You work your damn tail off and everything goes to pot anyway. And you just wonder why you didn't spend your time better, you know? He's just trying to sound cool. Bro, that's deep. That's actually exactly how I feel about it, too. I'm surprised that I'm actually able to relate to him. Yeah. But I guess it doesn't matter either way. Zombies don't care whether you're a good or bad person. We're all going to die anyway. So what about you? I'm sure you didn't spend all your time listening to Abba. I used to travel a lot. Looking for work and stuff. I suppose you could call me a bit of a nomad. Did he backpack across Europe or something? What does nomad mean in this context? Well, whatever. That sounds really cliché. Not really, it sorta suits you. To tell the truth, I haven't really had much purpose in a while. I've just been getting by. When you can't find something to do, you sorta lose yourself. It gets to a pretty dark place. Got to the point I used to wish I could just take a vacation from life. Guess I got my wish, didn't I? I used to wish for that too. I wanted to be free. I didn't want to be responsible for Dad anymore. And now I'm not, but I can't say whether that's really a good thing or not. Wishes never do come true the way you expect them to, huh? Yeah, monkey's paw. My stomach starts to throb painfully. I look down and press my hand against it. It felt okay for a while there, but it's acting up again. God, why did all this have to happen? Still feeling nauseous? Damn, I shouldn't be so obvious about it. I don't want to cause any trouble. This might be causing even more trouble, though. Oh, yeah, it's gotten a little better, but... Anyway, I move my hand away from my stomach. It's not like resting my hand there will make the pain go away. In a way, as long as I feel that pain, I know I'm still alive. That was morbid as hell. What's wrong with me? I'm just exhausted, which doesn't help things. You know how it is. You think we should stop and rest? I glance at the fuel gauge on the dashboard, nervous. We barely have 1/4 of the tank left as it is. Now, like it or not, we'll be stopping soon anyway. Braking would just waste gas. Onward it is then. Trying to ignore my pain, I keep my eyes on the endless road stretched out ahead of us. It really hurts now. I don't think I've ever been in this much pain in my life. And that's saying a lot considering what I have to go through every month. I deserve this, don't I? I shouldn't feel bad about it. I brought it on myself. Do you ever wonder, like, why us? How did we make it this far? And is it really such a good thing that we're still alive? From the moment I swung that baseball bat, I sealed my own fate. Just as I start to sink into really dark thoughts, I hear Dustin's voice. Honestly, I try not to think so hard about stuff like that. If I stop to wonder what my own life was worth, It's a dangerous train of thought, I'll tell you that. We're here, that's what matters. Despite it all, we're here and we're safe. The how and why of it is just garnish on the salad. You know, I didn't believe it at first. I mean, that we were really facing the apocalypse or whatever. So the first couple months I just kept working. Kept on like everything was fine. And then I couldn't ignore it anymore. And then Dad. How do I even begin to explain? How do you just keep working if the apocalypse is happening? Listen, you don't gotta answer me if you don't want, but your old man, what happened? My dad? I killed him. I smacked him in the head with a baseball bat and then ran like hell. Huh. So he needed more beer, right? Of course he did. He was a deadbeat alcoholic. But they wouldn't even let him in our nearby liquor store anymore, so he wandered off to another one. Just so happened that that part of town was infested. It took a while before I even noticed, since he wasn't really any different from usual. Does it count as murder if you kill a zombie? Does it count as murder if you never get arrested because your town's entire police force is now undead? That's pretty pathetic, huh? But so was my dad. And so am I. And in the end, I won't be doing much better. My stomach is burning with pain now, and guilt. I stare out the window, seeing nothing but darkness. Who knows what could be lurking out there? Though that hasn't changed since way before, I guess. Hey. I feel a sudden warmth on the top of my hand. Hesitant at first, but then steady. Dustin's hand rests on top of mine. It feels alien somehow. I flinch. I don't think I'm used to comfort, but I think he means well, probably. We're still here, just remember that. Until that changes, there's still time. Things might never get any better, It'd be stupid to assume that they would. But while we're still breathing, there's hope. That's pretty cheesy, isn't it? Huh. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. About your dad, I mean. Even if you didn't get on with him, I bet it must be hard, losing someone that close to you. Wow, where do I even start? Be honest. For some reason, I feel like I can be honest with Dustin. Even though I barely know him, I trust him. Somehow. My mouth opens all on its own and words spill out. Honestly, I felt relieved when he died. And then I felt awful for feeling relieved. But I spent 7 years of my life taking care of him. At the end of it all, I just felt free. Not that I got to enjoy that feeling of freedom for long. It makes me feel like a monster to admit all this to someone else, it really does. But that's the truth. I wouldn't worry too much. There's no wrong way to feel. He's right. I know that I'm only human. I'm not a monster, not yet anyway. I guess I'm almost privileged. No one I care about has been around in a long while. I wonder if there's anyone else still out there. I wonder if they're stuck out here like this. I wonder if we'll ever know. Dustin, The guilt is really getting to me now. I have to say something. I'm interrupted by the sound of the engine giving out. I've heard this sound before. We're out of gas. Damn. Did the fuel gauge light even come on? I didn't even notice. The engine cuts out and the car just rolls along until it completely stops. I'm worried about the window being down now. Before I would have pushed to the nearest gas station, but now, well, it's the end of the line, isn't it? I really thought the gas would last a little longer than that. Bound to happen sooner or later, wasn't it? We bought this car used, after all. It's cost efficient, but not so much fuel efficient. Wonder how far the next gas station is. Too far. It'd be nice if there were some signs around here or something. I can't believe we've gone this long without seeing any. Even if there were, it's not like we could have seen them. It's gotten so dark and without the streetlights. My stomach feels like it's on fire. I don't think I have much time left. Hey, how fast do you think you can run? Oh my god, was she bit? About average, I guess. Do you reckon we should? I touch my stomach. That hole isn't ever going to heal over, is it? This really is it. I don't know. I don't know if there's a point. Even if Dustin was an Olympic sprinter, I don't think he'd be able to make it. Not forever. If not me, then someone else would just... Maybe not. It's too damn dark anyhow. In all likelihood, one of us would probably trip and fall. Be pretty sad to make it this far just to die from a bust-up face. Huh. He can crack jokes because he has no idea. Knowing that just makes me feel like crap. And can't say anything now. Yet, it would. Anyway, there's nothing we can do until the sun rises. Guess we're crashing here tonight then, huh? In more ways than one. Could be worse anyway. At least the air smells nice. Yeah. I close my eyes, feeling the throbbing of my wound. I don't know how long it'll take. How long will I be able to go on? I wish I'd done more than work. I wish I'd paid more attention to the news. For now, all I can do is rest. I've run far enough. Well, good night then. The sunlight is completely extinguished. There's nothing but darkness on the endless stretch of land ahead. No, I wanted the option to leave. If she's gonna turn, I don't want to turn Dustin. I put the pedal to the floor. The wheels screech as we pull out into the lane. This car swerves, but it doesn't really matter. There's no one else out here as far as the eye can see. The abandoned station shrinks behind us until it's gone, and then it's just us and the long road. The world outside the window passes by us in abstract, like the whole world's given up on having any meaning. We drive in silence. After a while, I hear the faint buzzing of the power window being rolled down. You sure that's a good idea? It's not like zombies are just going to hurl themselves at a moving car. Fair enough. Well, that was a thrilling conversation. So I guess this is kind of strange to be asking after 3 whole days, but what's your name anyway? Whoops, I had it on skip. But I kept her name Shelby. Now your name gets to be V. V. Okay. The car shudders briefly as we rumble over a series of potholes. But then the road smooths again. The humming of the engine reminds me of a storm brewing far off on the horizon. Beyond these occasional noises, we sit in silence. So what were you doing before everything happened? Wow, that's the first time she's actually started a conversation. Guess I'm not so intimidating after all. What was I doing? God, what was I? A whole lot of nothing. I bet that sounds super impressive, huh? Just a scruffy drifter. Not so sure she wants to hear that. Dodging the truth sounds pretty sketch. Or, I mean, dodging the question, rather. I was moving cross country. Then everything went south. She's fiddling with the dial. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna find anything. Static comes in and out in waves. Every so often the distortion gives the illusion of an actual sound, but then it goes right back to nothingness. Just then, though. Hang on a sec, go back down. I think I actually heard something. The noise phases in and out, then as something comes into auditory focus. I can't contain myself. The sound is unmistakable. Horns blare joyously over the static in a sick fanfare, while a man's voice wails soulfully over it. I'm laughing so hard I nearly pissed myself. Shelby's nearly there too. That was not what I was expecting. Who the hell's out there running this? Of all the music that would be left. I sink back into the driver's seat, letting my mind drift to the music. The dissonance is almost comforting. As the fractured chords wash over me, I try to pretend I'm lounging in a truck bed somewhere. Out in the sun, mid-afternoon, shirt damp and dirty from a hard day's work. For a moment I almost believe it. The music falls short for a few seconds before starting up again. I shake my hand at the radio controls. So what are you into anyway? Just as I thought, she starts laughing at my expense. It's a nice sound though. I'm not gonna be poetic and say that it sounds like music or anything like that. Still, it's good to hear. Told you. Shit. God, that's so young. She's practically a kid. What was I doing when I was 22? Still wasting my life, I reckon. How old are you, like in your 30s? Wonder if she's even been to school. That young and the whole damn world's crashing down around her. I try not to make a face, but I can see my knuckles going white as my fingers grip harder into the wheel. What if he's like 50? He's like actually old. I reach down and turn the volume knob to a sharp left, and the radio blissfully goes silent. Farewell, wailing man. Now it's just us again. Sore topic, huh? I guess she doesn't want to think about it. I can't say I blame her. I'm a bit surprised we still have any light at all at this hour, especially without the streetlights and all. I used to travel a lot. I guess you could sort of call me a nomad. Well, that sure is lofty. Sounds really cliché. I don't think she knows I've noticed, but she's been pressing at her gut a lot. Wonder if she's still alright. Since I first ran into her, she's been in a rough way, and I'm not sure it's gotten much better. We probably should have looked for some more bags of that ginger stuff. Still feeling nauseous? I do, but... Christ, I'm really not equipped for this. I know first aid, I can stitch up a cut, but gastric distress is a bit beyond me. You think we should stop and rest? Nah. Like it or not, we'll be stopping soon anyway. Right, the fuel. If everything wasn't so weird these days anyway, I'd call it suspicious that we're only a single tank's worth left. Not much we can do about that, though. Onward it is, then. Huh. Didn't I used to. Honestly, I try not to think so hard about stuff like that. If I stopped to wonder what my own life was worth, Great, now I feel like I want to puke. Hey, please don't say things like that, Shelby. One of us has to keep this up. I'm just out here pulling the same things that he did. I slide my right hand off the wheel. Her hand is resting by her leg near the center console, so I reach over. I thought she might pull away, but she doesn't. Her shoulders fall and I think I hear her sigh. Wow. Her skin feels really cold. Is that normal? Maybe because the window's open? Maybe it's because she's sick. Really wish I knew a bit more medical shit right now. Actually, if she had a fever, shouldn't she be hotter? A chill like that can't be normal. It's not even that cold in here. But, yeah, I guess. It all happened so fast, I'm still trying to come to terms with it. If the car's clock is set right, it's nearing 1 in the morning now. The road is as dead as it ever was, but it somehow feels even emptier. More sinister. Like all the shadows behind us are teaming up into a hungering mass just waiting to swallow us whole. My eyes are getting heavier. We can't stop now, though. We've still got so much further to go. Even if we... Hey, V. There's something I need to tell you. She puts her hand to her stomach again. Latent instinct tell me not to take my eyes off the road, but I do anyway to look at her. She looks real bad, worse than I've seen yet. A couple times she opens and shuts her mouth. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? I should have said something before. I wanted to, but... I was scared. I'm still scared. Damn it. God damn it, I should have known. I've heard so much unreliable crap about the symptoms, but I guess they weren't so full of shit after all. Hey, stop. It's okay. But just keep calm, alright? We don't even really know how this all works, so maybe there's a way. Does it hurt? Not as much as I expected it to. I mostly just feel cold and hungry. I'm not even sure if that has anything to do with being bitten. If it wasn't for this, I might think I just imagined it. I wish I was dreaming right now. I wish this wasn't really reality. Fuck it all. I thought I was keeping it together. Don't do this to me, kid. I swallow, but it doesn't make my throat any less dry. The corners of my eyes are burning. Careful there, remember that thing about wishes. Monkey's paw, right? I guess sitting in a car beats having customers or my manager yell at me. Silver lining. Retail. Almost as bad as zombies. Worse, probably. I try, but I can't muster up the will to laugh. Anyway, you should sleep if you want to. We'll probably be on this road a while. Yeah, you're right. Will you wake me up if anything happens? Of course. And hey, gotta be somewhere better down the road, right? Better than back there, at any rate. Yeah. Maybe there'll even be a station that plays both Alanis and Abba. Atlantis. If there is, or ever was a station like that out there, I'd love to hear it. Hell, I'd love to shake the hand of whoever was running it. This life's too short to not just do whatever the hell you want. But I guess it ain't the time to be waxing on that. I don't know how much longer this tank's gonna get us. Well, ain't much to do now, but go until we can't anymore. The road is long and our course is true. Nowhere to run but forward. That's interesting. In Dustin's route, we still kept going, but in Shelby's one, they ran out of gas. I don't know what the differences are, considering we only have, like, a few options. Considering that there are, like, 4 more, I'm gonna see if I can find them all. Like, for each one, though, they have, like, little differences in their dialogue. And sometimes it's just like a singular sound. That is the only difference in dialogue when I'm going through. But anyway, I'm gonna try and get the other 4 endings. Haven't really settled into one thing in particular. Ew, that was weird. He doesn't sound like he really wants to talk about it. I wonder what his job really was. Maybe he was a trash collector. He does look kind of dirty. Wow, okay. Shelby. You're not looking so great yourself. Well, I shouldn't be rude. I'm not much of a catch myself, my chev. Immediately change the subject. It's getting dark, huh? Sunset's so late in the summer. He's just trying to sound cool. Whatever. Dustin's hand envelops mine and I feel comforted, safe. We're still here, just remember that. It's probably better not to. He doesn't need to know about all my baggage. Yeah, I guess. It all happened so fast, I'm still trying to come to terms with it. Oh. That didn't look like it was changed at all. It just went by and it didn't even give me a chance. Anyways, I'd like to say that I've been wondering, how old is Dustin? Cause he be acting like an old ass man. That was just my thought process this entire time I was trying to do this. Dustin, I can't go on like this, just keeping it to myself. Hey Dustin, there's something I need to tell you. I touch my stomach lightly with the palm of my hand. The shearing pain reminds me that I'm no longer entirely human. I gave my humanity up when I killed my dad. I should have said something before. I didn't even hesitate. I swung that baseball bat as hard as I could. And then he bit me in the stomach as a parting gift as he crumpled to the ground. Even in death, Dad still found some way to screw me over. Hey, stop. I always blamed Dad for Mom leaving us. He was selfish, he was an asshole, he was this, he was that. But just look at me, I've put Dustin's life in danger. I've lied to him since the day we met. I'm my father's daughter. But just keep calm, alright? I'm so sorry. I look down at my stomach. I might think I just imagined it. I wish I was dreaming right now. I wish I was dead. We'll probably be on this road a while. A while, huh? Well, the rest does sound nice. I always had to get up so early for work. I'm not used to being up this late. I'm starting to feel really sleepy. Yeah, you're right. My mind flashes to the baseball bat still in my trunk. No, I won't think about that right now. Of course. Maybe I've been running ever since Mom left. I never looked back, just kept going. It was all I could do to keep from falling apart. Dustin and we've both done enough. We've both gotten farther than I ever thought possible. I notice that the fuel gauge light is on, but I feel strangely at peace. I close my eyes, smiling as my consciousness already starts to drift. Wherever this road goes, whatever lies at the end of it, we live. The proof of that will remain no matter what. So for now, let's just keep going forward. I wonder if we're stuck out here like this. So I just remembered something pretty funny. Oh, she was the one who said that, right? Sometimes I'm able to get it without, like, directly looking at where the dialogue is coming from. And other times, for whatever reason, I'm just like, wait. My stomach is burning, but I feel so cold. How can I be burning and freezing at the same time? My brain feels foggy. It's like I'm feverish. I dig my fingers into the wound, hoping the pain will keep me conscious. I feel nothing but hunger. I'm so hungry. A few weeks ago, I was running down this alley and I saw this old poster, right? Real beat-up, weathered thing. But scribbled on the corner of it. Dustin's voice just makes me feel hungrier. Please stop talking. I'm feeling less and less like myself. Hey, are you sure you're really feeling alright? No, I'm not. But don't worry, it'll all be over soon. Shelby? I slowly turn my head towards Dustin and lick my lips in anticipation. Jeez, okay, I finally got all three for Shelby. I was like, oh my god, why can't I get this last one? And I ended up doing all of the second options, and then the last one was the top. My whole method was I was about to start doing all combinations just to see what I missed. Now I can finally get Dustin's too. You know, this and that. I've never really settled into one thing in particular. What about you? This ride is yours, right? Dodging the question, are we? I mean, you did the same thing too, Dustin, so... Wonder what she was into before this. Maybe she has always planned on the world drifting to hell in a handbasket. Smoked away her youth and wiled away her time. Ha, no, that's me, ain't it? Dustin's old as heck. Dustin's now the oldest man in the world. You okay there? I point toward her stomach with the back of my hand. Oh yeah, it's gotten a little better, but... Well, yeah, I'm not gonna be a creep about it. She's already tense enough. But... we're still here, just remember that. I don't know why, but the air feels colder. Maybe it's time to roll up the window. Hey. Uh-oh. She doesn't look so good. So I just remembered something pretty funny. Nothing? She's bored of me already. A few weeks ago I was running down this alley. What is she looking at? Is she even listening? God, please say something. She keeps staring forward at something, at nothing. Besides the glow of the headlights on the empty road, it's pitch black outside. There isn't a thing to see. But she hasn't fallen asleep, her eyes are still open. The car gives a bit of a sputter. The gauge is on empty. Actually, the warning light's been on a while. Shelby. Shit, come on now. I pull to the side of the road. This rust bucket's on its last legs anyway. The engine cuts off with an appreciative sigh. Hey, talk to me. Do you need a puke or something? Shelby? She says nothing, and it sits still as a statue. I'm not even sure she's breathing. Do I touch her? I start to reach out my hand. Just then, she turns slowly to look at me. Her mouth hangs. Her eyes are completely empty. She stares at me only, lifeless, and leans in closer. I should have seen this coming. Her hand jerks when I touch it, but she doesn't pull away. Just as she starts talking, the engine gives an unsettling sort of rumble and my heart jumps. It sputters a few times and the whole chassis lurches. I was stuck on the word chassis? Is that how you say it? I knew sooner or later I was going to come across a word that I was going to be confused over. With a pitiful clattering, the engine stalls out and the car can't do anything but coast. Crap. I noticed the fuel light click on some minutes ago, but I guess I still wanted to think we had more time. The car rolls down the pavement until it can't anymore and we amble to a stop. I really thought the gas would last a little longer than that. God, if I wasn't hoping for later. We bought this car used after all. I haven't seen anything for miles. Even without people, without lights, I can't see how how this could be. Like civilization just packed up and left the moment everything started to crumble, leaving not a trace behind. Even if there were, it's not like we could have seen them. I don't want to run anymore. About average, I guess. Her hand touches down to her stomach again. She felt so damn cold. Not much point to anything, not anymore. Maybe not. Please just smile. I stare out the window. The sky is clouded, but if I squint I can see faint light in the velvet. The breeze through the open window is quiet and clean. I sink back into my seat. I search around for the lever on the side so I can adjust the angle, but even when I yank on, the damn thing won't budge. Used car, right? I try and get comfy the best I can. I only hope that she can too. It's gonna be a long night. Well, good night then. It's so dark now, it's not much different when I shut my eyes. I breathe in and out and wait for sleep. I hope we see the morning. Okay, so I got all of the endings. There was, for each of them, it was, I think, but it's, for certain, the worst ending is when she actually turns. The normal endings, I believe, would be running out of gas, because, you know, they're stuck there at that point. And the best ending is keeping forward, so it still shows that they have gas and they're still going, so you never know. Maybe they might come across, like, a gas station, finally. This was a nice game, considering, I guess in the content warnings on their game page, I was kind of questioning the first one, which was suicide, but I think it's more like implication, because I don't think they outright really said it. It was more subtle. So for the 4 months that this needed to be made, I think it's pretty good for what it is, because, you know, they made the art, and then they had to make the story, make sure that it sort of, like, went with each other and all that stuff. And, you know, you never know how much time people have to work together into making something. From one of the comments that I saw, they said this is like a movie with nothing in it. And it, you know what, visual novels are visual novels. They're not always like games. But for this one, we got like enough choice to see an impact, and the endings showed that. If it was, I think it was 4. You get 4 choices. It was 4 or 3. I feel like it was 4 because I didn't have enough save slots to save in each one. So the 4 that we get, if we didn't see an actual like impact, if it always ended with just straight up she turns, I feel like then it wouldn't have been all that great. For their best ending, it gives you like still a bit more hope into that things might go well for them, because you don't know the rest of their what's going on in their world. You don't know if it's possible to survive through a bite, considering how long she lasted, because they said they've known each other for 3 days, and she said she got bit by her dad. She lasted for 3 days. You never know. She might be able to keep going. Though, I think it would have been nice if she got that injury looked at. Like, I know it was a bite and she didn't want to say anything about it, but it would have been... It almost sounded like she didn't really tend to it very much, though, considering the way, things are going, it sounds like it was pretty bad, and there isn't, a lot of stuff might have been taken already, so, I mean, there's always ripping up clothes that you might find. I'm actually surprised that I didn't get just went straight for bad. I'm surprised for Shelby I got run out of, I'm looking at what I named the endings so I know which ones. I'm surprised I got the normal ending for Shelby first and then actually got the best ending for Dustin. Whenever I play any game, I'm always expecting to get the bad end first. It's just innate. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's short and sweet. Kind of depressing. But considering the topic, apocalypse is never really all that happy. Unless you consider the, post-apocalypse? Like, everything bad that happened is it's been through its run-through, and now, nature is able to flourish, and people don't really have to worry too much about terrible things aside, for themselves. Aside for other people. It's always sad to think about that the scariest thing to go against is other people. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I hope that you have a good day and a good night. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.